Hey, it's Joey.
Getting in our shot over here. I'm Josh.
I'm Phil. We're from Hey Rosetta. Well, we just put out a new record a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting. And yeah, besides that, we're touring across North America. The Canada
music
portions.
video in the works.
That's right,
Should be
new
out
music
pretty
video.
soon.
Should be out within the month, I think. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, that actually is kind of based on a couple of ideas, a couple of metaphors. Sort of the idea of a band traveling around the country and, showing up and playing shows. It's sort of like, planting a seed to some extent, I guess. Maybe in the same way that a seed can be sort of planted in your mind, like when you hear a song and it grows into something that, I don't know, maybe you keep thinking about it or whatever, or who knows, maybe I guess the goal is that in playing a show, maybe some sort of human experience maybe can grow from that. Also, there's a song called Seeds, which is probably maybe one of the oldest tunes on it, so that's kind of it. And even, in the first 5,000 copies of the record, we actually included this cool little, recycled cardboard seed paper stuff that you can just plant in a garden and you water it and it'll grow into carrots and rapeseed, stuff like that. It's cool.
I know it was inspired by an artist. I can't remember his or her name.
I actually don't know anything about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I wish I knew this person's name, but anyway, it's kind of taken from their artwork. They do a lot of these picture with within a picture kind of thing, setting up like a field of grass in the middle of a street and kind of having a picture of that. It's kind of a bit of a rip off of that, but their work.
Yeah, the artist who did our layout was Sydney Smith, who's done basically everything for the last little while, all the last couple of CDs and all the T-shirts and the posters and that kind of thing. He's based out of Halifax. He's really great. And generally he used to do more sketch kind of stuff, and on this one it's more photograph based, I guess. I think it maybe took a little longer, because when Into Your Lungs came out, we ended up touring for 2.5 years with very little actual break, and so Tim is the primary songwriter, and I know that he had a hard time finding time to actually get any of the songs written while we're in the van, because it's not really an atmosphere that's conducive to any sort of creativity sometimes. And then even just finding time to rehearse and arrange and get the songs together ourselves in the basement, we'd play a song once and then we'd go on the road for 2 or 3 months and then come back and we haven't played it since, and we'd forget how it went and have to start from scratch over and over. So I think maybe it just took a lot longer to bring it all together.
And In Your Lungs as well, I remember we were playing a lot of those tunes for a long time before the record came out. Those tunes were pretty much finished when we went into the studio, where I feel, as Josh said, there was a lot less time to work on these tunes. And I feel like a good few things kind of came together in the studio, as it usually does, but yeah, it's turned out all right for a little amount of time that we had. I guess it had to be Tony behind that one, in a way.
Also, we had more time in the studio to
That's
actually get it done. The last one was done on very little time. I forget, what was it, 2 weeks? The entire album, top to bottom, was
everything was done in 2 weeks. Whereas I guess we had 2 weeks just to kind of record this, and there was overdubs and stuff later. And
we had a lot more time and a lot more, just more opportunity to explore the different sounds and bring in different players and stuff like that. And Tony Dugan is the producer, and he was really interested in getting some really cool sounds. So
he's a bit of a whiz too when it comes to achieving a lot of these sounds. You go up and tweak a mic or tweak a dial, and you can just kind of explain what you want, and he'd kind of make it a reality, which is pretty neat. Having someone that's a producer as well as an engineer, they know what they're doing for sure.
And plus, he produced a wide range of stuff, from Belle and Sebastian to Mogwai and the Winter Sleep, their last couple of records. So it was it's really great to work with him for that. That'd be cool.
It'd be all right. I don't know if that's always the goal. I mean, it's always awesome if more people hear about us and come to the show and buy a T-shirt or a CD. That's awesome. But I mean, I don't know. It's just pretty awesome to be able to play some tunes and people like them and come out. And it's always fun.
It's nice. Yeah, I mean we've been across Canada several times by now, and it is definitely really great. But there's something kind of new and exciting about playing in the U.S., say, where we don't have that kind of fan base, or like in Australia or China or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we've traveled a fair bit, and it's nice to kind of start fresh, you know.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah, it's cool if this gets some more attention in different places where we can go and you know really work them
Yeah.
that way.
Music scene. Yeah, that's always an interesting question. Like, the St. John's music scene is pretty awesome as far as I'm concerned, but it doesn't have, like, a lot of bands won't leave Newfoundland. Well, like the Gramercy Riffs now, we're sound checking in the background. They're finally getting out on their first cross Canada tour, which is awesome. They kind of relocated to Toronto to make a go of it, but there's a lot of really awesome bands that play like the downtown club circuit or bar circuit in St. John's, and it's a shame that they'll never pick up and leave just because it's so hard. It's expensive to get off the island and to buy a van and ferry tickets and all this other stuff. But I think it's a pretty awesome little close-knit music community back home for sure.
One thing that the St. John's music scene really has working for it is that it's a small town, you know. It's everyone knows you, and there's a real there's a strong amateur kind of musicianship that goes on there. Like, you know, your dentist is probably the best guitarist you've ever heard, and there's not a lot of people who are really pushing, and there's not like a lot of competition so much. I think there's a lot of support that comes from the people back home. So I think it's a pretty healthy atmosphere, pretty positive, and it is conducive to people experimenting more and being able to express themselves in ways that maybe they wouldn't if they were more focused on trying to maybe be professional or something.
Yeah.
You know, when your goal is to just play a show for your friends and have a good time, then you can maybe feel more free to experiment in different ways. So I think there's a lot of that goes on, and a lot of people who will show up to just support their friends. Just, why not? Yeah, Joe is playing at wherever tonight. Let's go check it out. And I think it's a really positive thing, and I hope it continues.